What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I want to just talk very briefly about my experience with Silver, how I got out of Silver, hopefully share some tips for that, and just a couple of thoughts on, what the status, I guess, of Silver is right now compared to where I'm at, because I made it out of Silver. It was definitely a grind, but as soon as I got into Gold, you can see here that I immediately started rising the ranks into Gold, and I'm almost at Gold 1, right? And this is in less than 24 hours or so worth of playing energy. So, obviously I don't have any Rebellion cards, or at least I think I've used like Mantroth or level 1 Mantroth, level 1 Grimbardian Smith, maybe here or there. But for the most part, right, I'm not playing with any Rebellion cards. I don't even really have many Riftwatcher cards, but my point is that you can still rise the ranks, and what this kind of signals to me is the fact that Silver is like, when they talk about, like crabs or lobsters or something, like as soon as somebody's like going up and getting near the top of the barrel, all the others pull them down. That's exactly what Silver feels like. And the problem with that, or at least my concern, I should say, is that it's extended from Bronze, right? That used to be a Bronze issue, and now it's turned into a Silver issue. And I don't know if that is going to expand into Gold, because my assumption, and I made a video about this before, is that the only way that I was able to get through Gold, through Silver, was through Gladiator cards. I literally was spamming Gladiator cards the entire time just because they're so powerful there. Now, there's an argument to be made that the meta opens up so much more in Gold that you can't just get away with Gladiator spam, right? Granted, I've still seen it here and there. Sometimes, I'll even play it just to see if I can get away with it. But I think I have like a Gladiator. Well, this is just a poor game, right? Me just trying to do a Gladiator thing here that didn't end up working. But my point is that to rise the ranks in Gold, I have not been using any Gladiators, right? It's all been, you can see here, once I got into Gold, what has been successful for me was using a lot of the summoners that I have already, which are maxed for Gold, right? There's a little Lux in there, but you see Kelia, you see Thaddeus Brood, you see a lot of the legendary summoners. So it's been a nice mix of all of these to rise the ranks. I don't know what the top of Gold looks like. I'm going to be very close, so maybe I can do a follow-up if you guys want to see a follow-up for Gold. But I do like the earnings, right? So this last one I earned 3.4 SPS, which was pretty cool. So let me share some tips now in terms of what you need, in my opinion, what helped me get out of out of Silver. So let's go here to items. I'm going to look at Gladiators, and I don't want neutral. I want all of them. So there were a couple, obviously, that I think that carried, but I'll just I'll name a few of them. So obviously at the top, I think you need a level 3 Korra, right? Which is when you get immunity, because I was able to beat other Korra spams because they only had a level 2, meaning that they didn't have immunity, and therefore I could throw in a Dr. Blight, I could throw in anybody who has affliction and actually afflict the other Korra, whereas that's just not going to happen if they have immunity. So I noticed that my Korra level 3 was beating a lot of level 2 and level 1 Korras. But the thing is, I think level 2 and level 1 are going to be good enough to get you into like mid, maybe even high Silver, because I was facing all these folks. It's just in order to get past them, I had level 3 Korra, which again, like I said, anecdotal, but it seemed to help. The other one, which I was spamming a lot towards the end, was Captain Katie, and you can see here that I have a level 4 Captain Katie, which is maxed for Silver, right, to go along with a max Soulbound Summoner to bring her into play. So here's the interesting thing when it comes to Captain Katie. When you get to level 4, you are doing 4 damage rather than 3, which is what the first 3 levels are. That 4 damage is super clutch because many of the units in the back line, they'll have 4 health, right? And so now all of a sudden, if you're just doing 3, you would start off with not getting a Bloodlust the first turn with your snipe, right? Whereas it makes a huge difference to get it to level 4. So if you can get there, if you have the Soulbound Summoner to bring a level 4 in, that would be the suggestion. I know it's not easy, but I'm just sharing the things that helped me finally break out of the muck in Silver. Surprisingly, I did not use Isgald Vorst very much. I love using this card in Brawls, but I did not use it a lot just because I believe this summoner, Pembroke Nymph, right, for the blue summoner, just not it's just not great. You get +1, health, and that's just not going to do much when it comes to like Bloodlust. Granted, I could have done, I could have used the Helios Matriarch, which is the what's that called, the dragon one with Izalverse, but I found myself never really going towards him. So the last one, obviously, and these are like the top three, right? So Korra, Captain Katie, was Ketrelba. Now there were certain times where, especially if it's like a higher mana game, and I know Korra probably isn't going to be able to do as much damage, I can like hide Ketrelba in the back and just have her start eating their back line, right? And I would pair her many times with I would actually pair her many times with other sneak monsters. So for example, I would throw her in with a Uraeus, or if I would play Dragon, because the cool thing about the Helios, so the Dragon Soulbound Summoner and the, what's that called, and the Earth Soulbound Summoner, is that they're just exact opposites of one another, right? So the Dragon Summoner gives you +1 speed. The Earth Summoner gives the opposite team -1 speed. So many times I would just opt to use the Dragon Summoner if it was available, because then I could pair her with Vruz. I could pair her with Dhampir Infiltrator. If those weren't available, I would pair her with Uraeus. And what I really like about Uraeus, well, I'm not going to go and check it right now, or maybe I will, just to show you guys. So she's a speed. Well, hold up. Let me go back here. So I have her at level 5, which is maxed for silver. So keep that in mind. You will need one that's maxed at silver. You get the snare ability, which came in handy a couple of times. But I think if you get this to level 4, which is, the first level for silver here, right? So 1 through 3 is bronze, 4 and 5 is silver. As long as you get to level 4, you get that third attack, and that will take you very far. The snare is nice, but unless the monsters or the units flying in the back, it doesn't really matter. Now let me go here. There was a speed of 3, so my guess is that Uraeus, max for silver, is going to be level 3, has a speed of 3 as well. So this is why this is so clutch. It's because since Uraeus is epic versus Ketrelba, who is common, Uraeus will always go first. So if there's armor in the back, I would pair her with Uraeus to use Uraeus to take away the armor, and then she could go in for a clean 6 points of damage on the back end, right? To double strike with 3 each. So most of the time, that worked really, really well for me. Let me just see if there's any other honorable mentions aside from those 3. But those, I think most people know that's the trinity of gladiator cards, at least in ranked. If you can get those, then you'll be set. And the good thing is that they are all either, well, actually, Ketrelba's common, right? Captain Katie's rare. Korra is going to be the tough one because you need 10 BCX, and that is going to take a while. So I think a lot of new players are going to struggle if they don't have a Korra who's at that level. I didn't really use any death. I didn't really use the neutral one, maybe once or twice, but it wasn't like something that was super, super crucial to the meta. I did use maybe Orella Abaddon a couple of times, which is a sneak monster, right? So, or sneak unit. I have this maxed for silver. Again, I think if you just even get it into silver level, which is 14 BCX, that should be good enough because the only change is the health. So speed and damage still stay the same. But yeah, that'll probably be the only honorable mention that I remember using to get out of the grind. So hopefully this is helpful for people who are struggling in silver. Just know that it is possible. And if you have a maxed gold deck, at the very least, of mainly just Chaos Legion and Chaos Legion rewards, you'll quickly be able to rise up the ranks, because I was in gold fighting against a lot of non-maxed for gold decks, right? So there were a lot of level 5 rare summoners, for example, that I've come up against, especially in gold 3, maybe even the bottom of gold 2. Now it's starting to get to an interesting point, and I can't wait to see what the top of gold looks like, because it's funny. I'll go into a match now and I'm just like, oh, there's fire. Will I see Jotun? Oh, wait, there's no Jotun anymore. But what are the Rebellion cards that are going to be kind of drifting people towards the top just because they have a Mantaroth, or they have a Grimbardoon, or they have a max this and that? So, that'll be an interesting meta for me to explore and discover, but hopefully this is helpful for you guys who are struggling in silver. Sorry, I don't have any tips for bronze. I haven't been playing there. I might start, fire up an alt account to play in bronze if my, if I have the mental kind of fortitude to take that challenge on. But if anybody has tips for other tips for silver or tips for bronze, please leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, yeah, I'll catch you all in the next video, and I'll see you around the game. Take care.